guys, it's Abby. Welcome back to my channel. So I thought I would share with you guys an update on my hospital bag. So Liam is 2.5 months old now, and I haven't had time to film this video. I wanted to film this video, but I actually rewatched my video, wrote down everything in order of what we used and what we didn't, and then I also wanted to tell you guys the things that I would have brought with us if I'd have that I will be bringing with us the next time, because now I know. So let's just get on into it. Okay, so the first thing I talked about was the nursing pads. I didn't use them because my milk didn't really come in until after I left the hospital, but and I actually hate the disposable ones. I don't use them anymore. I use the, I will link the ones I use down below. They're from the Bamboo Bees brand. I bought them at Target. Love, love, love them. I literally wore a pair for 3 days while I was in the hospital with my blood pressure problems and never once leaked through. So love them, highly recommend, can't recommend them enough. I will link them down below for you guys. Next thing was the slippers. I did wear them. I actually ended up having to wear them home because my feet were so swollen from all the fluids they gave me while I was in labor. So I couldn't put on the sandals that I'd worn to the hospital. So definitely wore those, and I did throw them away basically promptly when I got home, which I regretted because then I needed them when I was at the hospital for my blood pressure, but we didn't know that was going to be happening. So next time I'm going to save them for a couple weeks before I throw them away. Next thing were flip-flops for both Ben and I. I used mine, he did not. I don't think he actually ended up showering at the hospital. I don't think he showered until we went home. I was gross. I felt nasty, so I showered, but I was actually really proud of myself. I feel like we used most of the stuff we brought with us, but next thing was my tumbler, my like imitation Yeti cup. Used it constantly. Actually, it was something that got brought to the hospital when I went back for my blood pressure, so I've used it a ton. I used it a ton while I was in the hospital. I would highly recommend something like that, especially if you want ice water. I definitely did. I wanted something cold, cold, cold. My makeup, I did not use it. And I'm totally fine with that. I just wanted to have the option to use it in case I wanted it. I just decided I didn't want to, but I did use the hair ties, the brush, the headband, and my chapstick that were all in that same little bag. So, used all of that. It was, you know, fairly standard. Obviously we used our chargers. That was the next thing. Next thing was the folder, and we did use that to store all of the discharge paperwork as well as his footprints. They put his little footprints on his footprints on a little card for us. So obviously I saved that I put that in there as well to keep it safe. Next thing was my robe. I did not use it when I was in labor because I couldn't get up because I had an epidural. But I did use it in the room, and then I also used it when we were walking the halls after he was born. So I did use that, would recommend it. It was nice to have something that was like a little bit of a jacket. Toothbrush, yep, obviously. Toothpaste, yes. I don't think I talked about my toothbrush, that was later. Yes, I did, I did brush my teeth. Next were my toiletries. I did use the toiletries and the hair care products. And I also used the body wipes that I talked about. Those were great to kind of just help right after, like the night of, to just kind of freshen up a little bit. We ate a lot of the snacks that we brought with us, and we ate even more of them again when I was back in the hospital, because I didn't actually unpack my hospital bag right after he was born, and then it was a good thing because I ended up eating it at the hospital again. Of the clothing that I brought, I wore the nightgown while I was in the hospital. I did not wear the pajamas because I did not end up having a C-section, so I didn't end up staying as long as I thought I would. I've worn them a lot since. They actually have a nursing panel. They lift up like this, which I didn't know when I was showing them in my video, so I've worn them a lot. They're great for nursing, especially at night. And then I didn't wear the underwear. I wore the mesh ones that the hospital gave me because they worked better with the pads that the hospital gave me, but I wore the underwear a lot after I got home because it was nice to have something bigger. Obviously I wore the bra that I brought with me, and then I only wore one pair of socks because I didn't know how many days we'd be there, and so I only wore one pair, and I didn't wear any while I was in labor. So I didn't end up wearing the nursing tanks. I probably won't bring those the next time just because I'll bring, honestly, probably the exact same nightgowns that I brought this time. One of those two, the blue one or the red one, and just wear those because those worked great. They were comfortable, they're soft, they're decently cute, they cover really well, great nursing access, so that's probably what I'll bring next time. I probably won't bother bringing nursing tanks because I didn't end up wearing anything that needed it. And then I did wear the dress because I wore that home. We did use the TJ Maxx bag to kind of throw some of the extra stuff that we got. So then the stuff that I packed for Liam, we actually used all of it except the hat because my mom accidentally dropped it on the floor. So we didn't end up taking pictures in the little dinosaur swaddle and the little hat, but that's okay. He wore the little R2-D2 hat at home and it was so cute. I was concerned that it wouldn't fit, so I actually threw, or that his pants wouldn't fit. So I threw in another pair of pants that was bigger, but we ended up not needing those because the pants that I brought fit fine. So we used everything that we used almost everything that we brought. So now I'm going to talk about the things that I would have brought with me and I'm planning on bringing the next time. So the first one is my bot. Oh, I didn't use my breast pump. Did I talk about that? I didn't end up needing my pump because again, my milk didn't really come in. So I was just trying to nurse. I wasn't pumping yet. So I don't think I talked about that, but didn't use the pump. Okay. Things I wished I had, the boppy. So I had kind of read a little bit of both when I was reading like people's videos. When I was watching people's videos and reading people's blogs, they were kind of like, take your own nursing pillow, just use the pillow at the hospital. I had a hard time nursing Liam at first because he had a lip tie. Still has a lip tie. We did not get it cut. So we had some trouble nursing, and I think if I'd have had the boppy, it would have been great. It was also really nice for co-sleeping. We weren't supposed to co-sleep in the hospital, but we did, and I will talk about that in just a minute. But it would have helped a lot for nursing. So next time I'm definitely taking my boppy with me, which I mean, it'll help because I also know how to nurse now. I mean, not saying it's going to be exactly the same, but I do know at least the basics of how to nurse. So that might not necessarily be a concern the next time, but still, I'm going to take my boppy with me for sure. Next thing, I kind of wish we'd brought some more cute clothes for him, but we were only there for a day and a half after he was born, so it really didn't matter. He just wore the little t-shirt that the hospital had, like that was like long sleeved and like had mittens, which he hated. We didn't cover his hands up because he hated it. So I may or may not bring cute clothes for the next baby. We'll just have to see. Okay, so next 3 things I would have brought are all gonna be for the same reason. A rattle, or some other toy that makes noise, a pacifier, and the Moby. So, not the night that he was born, because we got to our room, he was born at 11:23 at night. So, we got to our room in the maternity ward at about 3:30. It was when they got us moved, or about 3, and they got us all settled and everything. So, we were all tired, he slept a lot, it was fine. But then that next night, so like the first full night we had with him was rough, y'all. He cried for 7 hours. And at about 1:30 in the morning, we called the nurse and we're like, is there anything you can do to help us quiet this baby? And so she came in and put her finger in his mouth, you know, with the glove on obviously, and got him a little bit soothed and then put him down in the bassinet. So our hospital did not allow the baby to sleep in the bed with the parents because the beds are not designed for co-sleeping. And also, if we left the room, he had to be in the bassinet. We couldn't be carrying him because he was a patient, and if something happened, they would be in trouble. So that was really hard because the room was so tiny. It was so cramped. So we spent hours, both of us, just walking back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, pacing back and forth in the little tiny room. And so for Liam, we have a rattle. We call it the magic rattle. It works amazingly well. As soon as we start to shake it, he calms down. He doesn't even have to see it. He just has to hear it. So having something that's a noisemaker, and obviously, you know, the first thing that she did when she got in there was put her finger in his mouth. So we used a pacifier not long after we got home, and you know, they tell you not to do it for a month because you miss hunger cues. Guys, he gained over 3 pounds his first month of life, so not really concerned about that. Don't think we've missed any hunger cues. And it helps soothe him a lot. Babies need to suck on things. I don't know why they tell you not to give them a pacifier until they're a month old, because babies need to suck on things. So definitely gonna bring the pacifier. And then the other thing is when he's in the Moby, he calms down a lot. So especially when he was really little, that was something he felt very comforted in. So definitely gonna bring that the next time. And the reason that I mentioned the boppy with co-sleeping, so what ended up happening that night was Ben started to feel physically ill because he hadn't gotten enough sleep, and I just function better on less sleep than he does. But so I was like, you know what, you go to sleep, like there's no sense in both of us being trashed, like you go to sleep and I'll be fine. I'll try and catch up tomorrow when people are coming to see us and whatever. Like I can sleep when they're here. So Ben went to sleep, and what ended up happening was I sat down to nurse Liam, or I kind of got in bed to nurse Liam because I was also starting to hurt really bad just from all of my trauma. So I put him in the bed and ended up falling asleep with him. And so at about 5 in the morning, the nurse came in to do like some sort of check on both of us. And she was like, do you want me to put him back in the bed? She changed his diaper and all that stuff. She's like, do you want me to put him back in the bed with you, or do you want me to put him in the bassinet? And so she was kind of like, you know, they're not, again, the baby wasn't supposed to sleep with us per the hospital policy, but he'd been screaming and screaming and screaming, and she'd heard him screaming, and we'd called her for help and stuff. So she just kind of, you know, let us get by with it. So, and then the reason that I know it helps with the co-sleeping in the hospital especially is because I used it a lot when I was back in the hospital for my blood pressure. I know I talked about that a lot, but that was a big part of my my birth experience. So it helped a lot with that, because then they couldn't say he couldn't sleep in the bed with me because he was no longer a patient. It was just me. So but the Boppy helped me feel a lot better when I had him in the bed with me, because I felt like he was a lot more secure. So just one more reason to bring that. So anyways, I hope that you guys find this video helpful. I will link my original hospital bag, what's in my hospital bag video down below, so you can get my rationales for some of that stuff, as well as I'll put it in a card. But I hope that this was helpful if you're an expectant mama. Don't be scared. I mean, you can be scared, but let me tell you, it's so worth it. It's amazing. Having a baby is just, I'm gonna cry if I keep talking about it. It's absolutely incredible. It's totally worth it. And I hope that you can maybe take some advice from this video, maybe learn from some of my mistakes. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!